delete her number, not because you hate her, not because you want her to notice, not because removing 10 digits from your phone will magically make her regret losing you. Delm it because every time loneliness gets louder than your discipline, that number becomes a doorway back into the same pain. You tell yourself you are only going to check the conversation, then you reread the last message. You study the time she was online. You remember the version of her who once replied immediately. You start writing something harmless. Hope you're doing well. But that message is rarely harmless. Underneath it is the question you are afraid to ask directly. Do I still matter to you? Have you forgotten me? Is there still a chance? Please give me something that makes tonight easier. You do not need another temporary answer. You need to stop placing your piece one message away from someone who has already become uncertain about you. So delete the number. Do not announce it. Do not send a final warning. Do not say, I'm deleting your number now, so this is your last chance. That is not letting go. That is another attempt to provoke a reaction. Quietly remove the shortcut your weakest moments keep using to reach the person your strongest moments know you must leave alone. Then watch what happens next, not only to her, to you. Because the most important result is not that she suddenly contacts you. The most important result is that your mind slowly stops treating contact as the only way to survive discomfort. Before this video ends, you will understand why deleting her number can break the cycle of impulsive messaging, what emotional stages may follow, what she may experience when you finally stop reopening the door, and exactly how to respond if she contacts you after your attention is no longer guaranteed. But hear the truth first. Deleting her number does not guarantee she will return. It does not make you mysterious. It does not create love where love no longer exists. She may miss you, she may become curious, she may reach out, or she may accept the ending and continue moving forward. The action is valuable because it protects your behavior regardless of her response. That is the difference between a boundary and a tactic. A tactic succeeds only when she reacts the way you hoped. A boundary succeeds when it prevents you from repeatedly betraying yourself. Now ask yourself why her number is still saved. Maybe you tell yourself it is only practical. You are not planning to contact her. You simply do not see the point in deleting it. But every night, you open the contact, you look at the profile picture, you scroll through old media, you check whether the status changed. You keep the connection close enough that one emotional wave can turn into an action you regret. The number itself is not controlling you. The meaning attached to it is it represents access, possibility, hope. It tells your mind that even though she is gone, she remains one tap away. And because access remains easy, your brain never fully accepts the separation. There is always another message you could send, another explanation you could offer. Another memory you could mention, another reason to restart the conversation. You keep believing that the right combination of words may produce the answer the previous messages could not. But if she already knows you care, another message does not provide new information. It usually provides new pressure. She knows you miss her. She knows you wanted the relationship. She knows the door was open. Your continued pursuit does not prove the depth of your love. Eventually, it proves that your boundaries disappear when you become afraid. That is why deleting the number matters. It introduces friction between emotion and action. The urge may still arrive. You may still think about her. You may still wish you could speak, but now the impulsive path is less convenient. You have to pause, and inside that pause, you can ask a better question. Do I genuinely need to communicate, or am I searching for relief? Most of the time, you are searching for relief. You believe hearing from her will calm you, and maybe it will. For 10 minutes, for one evening, perhaps for one day, then the uncertainty returns. What did her reply mean? Why did she use that word? Why did she respond warmly and then disappear? Why did she view the message but not continue the conversation? Are we rebuilding? Should I contact her again? One reply does not end your anxiety, it gives your anxiety new material. That is why contact becomes addictive. You are not always contacting her to build a relationship. Sometimes you are contacting her to stop feeling rejected. But a reply cannot permanently heal a wound that has made another person responsible for your self worth. You need to sit with the discomfort long enough to discover that it rises, reaches a peak, and eventually passes without her intervention. That is what happens first after you delete the number. You may feel worse. Do not mistake that discomfort for evidence that the decision was wrong. You removed an emotional escape route. Of course, your mind protests. Before, whenever you felt lonely, you could open the conversation. Whenever uncertainty became unbearable, you could send something. Whenever you feared she was forgetting you, you could attempt to place yourself back inside her attention. Now, you must experience the feeling without immediately acting on it. The first night may feel unusually quiet. You reach for the contact by habit, then remember that it is gone. Your mind begins arguing with the decision. That was too dramatic. What if she needs me? What if she thinks I stopped caring? What if she was waiting for me to reach out? What if deleting the number destroys the last chance? Slow down. Deleting a contact does not prevent her from contacting you. It prevents you from using easy access to repeatedly contact someone who is not moving toward you. If she has your number and genuinely wants to communicate, she can. You do not need to keep placing your hand on the door to prove that it remains unlocked. And if she clearly asked you not to contact her, deletion helps you respect that boundary. No new number, no fake account, no asking a friend to deliver a message, no pretending there is an emergency. If someone has asked for distance, your feelings do not cancel their request. There are also situations where you should preserve necessary contact information. If you share children, property, legal responsibilities, work obligations, financial matters, or genuine safety concerns, you may need a reliable communication channel. In that case, you do not have to delete every path. You create structure. Keep communication limited to necessary matters. Do not use practical responsibilities as excuses to restart emotional conversations. A message about the child is about the child. A message about a shared bill is about the bill. Do not attach. By the way, I've been thinking about us. A boundary can be emotionally firm while remaining practically responsible. But when there is no shared obligation and the number exists only as a doorway to hope, deletion can become an act of self leadership. The second thing that happens is your mind begins idealizing her. This is predictable. When immediate access disappears, memory can become selective. You remember the warmth, the laughter, the late night conversations, the way she once looked at you. You remember the beginning more clearly than the ending. You forget how often you felt uncertain, how many times you waited for replies, how many conversations left you more confused than before, how frequently you lowered your standards because losing her felt unbearable. Your mind turns the relationship into a collection of highlights. Then it compares those highlights with your current loneliness. Of course, the past wins. You are comparing the best moments of a relationship to the quietest moment of your evening. That is not an honest comparison. When nostalgia arrives, do not attack the memories. The good moments may have been real. You do not need to turn her into a villain to let her go. But you must remember the complete relationship, not only the moments that make you want to return. Ask yourself why the connection ended. Was the effort mutual? Could you communicate without one person withdrawing and the other chasing? Were you respected? Did you feel peaceful? Did both of you take responsibility? Were your needs discussed? Or did you keep hiding them because you feared conflict? Did she choose you clearly? Did you maintain your own identity? The truth is usually more complicated than she was perfect and I lost her. Maybe she had real qualities you loved. Maybe you made serious mistakes. Maybe she made serious mistakes. Maybe both of you cared but lacked the emotional skills to create a stable relationship. Deleting the number does not erase complexity. It stops complexity from becoming an excuse for another impulsive message. The third thing that happens is the fantasy of one final conversation begins losing power. For a long time, you may have believed closure was hidden inside something she had not yet said. You wanted a complete explanation. Why did her feelings change? Was another person involved? Did she ever truly love you? Did she regret the ending? Was there something you could have done? You imagined that if she answered honestly, your mind would finally become quiet. But closure is rarely one perfect sentence delivered by the person who hurt you. Sometimes their explanation creates more questions. Sometimes they do not fully understand their own decision. Sometimes they tell you the truth and you reject it because it does not match the answer you hope to hear. Sometimes the answer is already visible. She is not choosing the relationship. That does not explain every detail, but it provides enough information for your next decision. You do not need to solve her entire psychology before you protect yourself. You do not need to know whether she secretly misses you. You need to look at what she is openly offering. If she offers silence, accept the silence. If she offers confusion, do not build a home inside it. If she offers friendship while you still want a relationship, be honest about whether that will help you heal. If she offers clear, consistent effort, then you have something real to evaluate. Deleting the number helps you stop demanding hidden meaning from behavior that is already giving you direction. The fourth thing that happens is you begin noticing how much time the connection was consuming. You may have believed you were only sending occasional messages, but the real cost was larger. The hours spent imagining what to say, the mornings spent checking whether she viewed something, the nights spent rereading conversations. The energy spent creating posts you hoped she would notice, the work you delayed because your mind was waiting for a notification, the training session you skipped because one cold reply destroyed your mood, the sleep you lost studying whether she was online. When the number disappears, those habits become more visible. At first, the empty time feels uncomfortable. You do not know what to do with the attention that used to revolve around her. That is the moment many men reinstall the old pattern. They recover the number from a backup match old emails, ask a friend, convince themselves that deleting it was immature, but the emptiness is not a problem. It is available energy. Your attention has been returned to you. Now you must decide where it goes. If you do not give it direction, it will return to rumination. So build structure immediately, train at a fixed time, protect a work block. Put the phone outside the bedroom, reconnect with a friend, dock weight a financial target, complete the task you have been postponing. Your mind needs evidence that life continues beyond this relationship, not motivational words. Evidence through action. Every completed action says, my future is still moving. That matters because heartbreak makes time feel frozen. You believe nothing important can happen until she comes back or until you stop loving her. That is false. You can still miss her and work. You can still feel rejected and train. You can still experience grief and build money. You can still wish things were different while accepting what they are. Healing does not require waiting until the pain disappears. Healing happens while you act responsibly in the presence of pain. Now, what may happen on her side after you delete the number? First, she may notice nothing. Deleting a number is a private action. That is exactly why it can be powerful for you. You are not doing it to create a performance. She may continue her life without knowing. Your ego may dislike that. It wanted a dramatic result. It wanted her to sense the exact moment access changed, but a healthy boundary does not require an audience. If the action protects you, it has value even when she never discovers it. Second, she may notice that the familiar messages have stopped. Perhaps you always returned. After every argument, you made contact. Whenever she became distant, you increased your effort. When she gave you one small sign, you reopened everything. She may have assumed that your attention was permanent. Then the pattern ends, no check in, no story reply, no I hope you're okay. No emotional paragraph after midnight. At first, she may feel relief, let her. If the connection had become heavy, the removal of pressure may feel peaceful. Do not demand immediate regret. Then, as time passes, she may become curious. Why hasn't he contacted me? Did he finally accept the ending? Did he become tired? Is he talking to someone else? Would he even respond now? But curiosity is not commitment. A woman wondering where you went does not mean she wants to rebuild. She may miss your attention. She may miss the certainty that you remained available. She may dislike losing emotional access. She may want confirmation that she could still reach you. This is why you cannot treat her first message as proof that deleting the number worked. The purpose was not producing the message, and the message itself does not tell you why she sent it. The pattern after contact reveals the intention. Imagine a man named Ryan. Ryan had contacted his former partner 5 times after the breakup. Each message began calmly. He told himself he only wanted clarity. But every exchange followed the same pattern. She responded politely. He felt hope. He tried to move the conversation toward the relationship. She became distant. He felt rejected again. Then, after several days of silence, the pain became strong enough that he restarted the cycle. One night, Ryan opened her contact and began writing, I've done a lot of thinking and I finally understand everything. He paused. He had sent different versions of that sentence before. He was not bringing new information. He was trying to produce a different response. So he deleted the draft, then he deleted the number. For the first few days, he felt panicked. What if he forgot the number permanently? What if she assumed he did not care? What if this was the exact week she would have become receptive? But after the panic passed, he noticed something. His evenings still hurt, but they were no longer creating new humiliation. He was not waking up regretting what he had sent. He was not studying her short replies. He was not restarting hope every 3 days. The pain was finally moving in one direction instead of repeatedly returning to the beginning. 3 weeks later, she contacted him. Hey, stranger, you disappeared. The old Ryan would have explained everything. He would have said he had been fighting the urge to contact her. He would have reassured her that his feelings had not changed. Instead, Ryan asked himself a simple question. Is she offering clarity or checking whether I am still available? He responded respectfully. Hey, I stepped back because the connection had become one sided. What made you reach out? That response did not punish her. It required the conversation to reveal more than curiosity. If she wanted to talk honestly, she had the opportunity. If she only wanted reassurance, Ryan's calmness prevented him from immediately providing unlimited access. This is how you should respond if she contacts you. Do not say, I deleted your number. You do not need to announce the boundary as an achievement. Do not say, I knew you would come back. Do not act cold to reverse the power dynamic. Respond according to the substance of her message. If she says, hey, say, hey, hope you're doing well, then let her contribute. If she says, why did you stop contacting me? Say, the connection felt unclear, so I stopped forcing it. If she says, I thought you cared, say, I did care. Caring did not mean continuing a one sided pattern. If she says, I miss you, say, I appreciate your honesty. What are you hoping happens now? That question matters. Missing someone can be genuine without meaning they are ready for a relationship. She may be lonely, nostalgic, curious, disappointed by another experience. She may miss your emotional support. She may want proof that you still care, or she may have genuinely reflected and become ready to rebuild. Do not guess. Let her communicate. If she says, I do not know what I want, believe the entire sentence. Do not hear only the affection. Confusion may be honest, but honest confusion is still confusion. You can say, I understand. Take the time you need, but I am not returning to an undefined situation. Then step back. Do not become her waiting room. Do not provide daily companionship while she decides whether she wants commitment. Do not offer the emotional benefits of a relationship without the clarity of one. If she asks for friendship and you still want more, be honest. Friendship may keep you close enough to hope and too close to heal. You can say, I respect you, but friendship would not be healthy for me right now. That is not manipulation. That is refusing to lie about what the contact means to you. Now, if she clearly asks to rebuild, do not rush. The message you wanted has arrived. That does not mean the original problems have disappeared. Ask what changed. Why is she reaching out now? What did she understand during the distance? What does she take responsibility for? What does she believe must be different? Then examine your own behavior. Maybe you became anxious and controlling. Maybe you ignored her concerns. Maybe you lost your direction. Maybe you expected the relationship to become your entire emotional foundation. Maybe you kept contacting her because you could not tolerate uncertainty. Own what is yours. Do not accept responsibility for everything because you fear losing the opportunity. Repair requires two people capable of examining themselves, then watch behavior. Does she initiate? Does she follow through? Does she communicate when something becomes uncomfortable? Does she respect your pace? Does she remain invested after she knows you still care? Trust should grow at the speed of evidence, not at the speed of relief. Relief is dangerous because it makes you abandon every standard. You spent weeks rebuilding, then she returns. Within one day, you become available at every hour. You cancel your plans, you stop training, you neglect work. You answer every message instantly because you fear losing her again. The man who deleted the number disappears the moment the number returns. Do not let that happen. The purpose was not becoming unavailable forever. It was becoming available by choice rather than compulsion. If the relationship restarts, your life must remain intact. Your work continues, your training continues, your sleep remains protected, your friendships remain, your standards remain. Your affection can return too. You do not punish her. You do not make her beg. You do not use distance to control her. You create balance. Two people initiating, two people communicating, two people taking responsibility. Two people choosing the relationship without one person constantly chasing the other. If that balance cannot exist, deleting the number was not a temporary technique. It was the first step toward accepting the ending. Now prepare for the late night moment. This is when your decision will be tested. During the day, you may feel strong, then the world becomes quiet. You remember her voice, you remember the beginning, you wonder whether she is online. You remember that the number may still exist in an old email or cloud backup. Your mind begins creating reasons to recover it. I only want to apologize properly. I only want to make sure she is okay. I need to tell her one final thing. Be honest, is the message genuinely necessary? Or do you want her response to change the way you feel tonight? Would you still send it if you knew she would not reply? Would you remain stable if she answered coldly? Would you send it if you knew she was fully moving on? If the answer is no, you are not communicating from clarity. You are seeking emotional medicine. Do not recover the number. Put the phone away. Walk, drink water. Write the message in a private note. Pray if faith is part of your life. Sleep before making the decision. A feeling can be intense without being wise. The urge will rise, then it will fall. Every time you allow the wave to pass without acting, you teach your nervous system something important. I can survive this without contacting her. That is how emotional dependence weakens, not through one motivational speech. Through repeated moments where you choose discipline over temporary relief. Here is your 7 day reset. For 7 days, keep the number deleted. Do not recover it from another device. Do not ask a friend for it. Do not contact her through another app. Do not check her stories. Do not search her followers. Do not ask mutual friends whether she mentioned you. Do not post content designed for a reaction. Do not make emotional decisions after midnight. On the first day, remove the obvious triggers. Archive the conversation. Move old photographs into a private folder rather than repeatedly scrolling through them. Mute her profile if necessary. This is not about erasing history. It is about ending constant exposure. On the second day, write down the complete truth about the relationship. What did you love? What hurt you? Where was the effort mutual? Where did you start chasing? What did you tolerate because you feared being alone? What did you do that weakened the connection? Write the facts your nostalgia keeps editing. On the third day, rebuild your body. Train, walk, eat properly, sleep. Do not create a revenge transformation. Your body is not a message directed toward her regret. Build strength. Because heartbreak has been controlling your energy, on the fourth day, rebuild your work and money complete one task you have delayed. Set one financial target. Every hour spent wondering whether she misses you is an hour that could strengthen the future you still have. Take the hour back. On the fifth day, define your standards. Clear communication, mutual effort, respect, consistency, faithfulness, emotional availability, no triangles, no permanent uncertainty. Then define what those standards require from you. You must communicate clearly too. You must respect boundaries too. You must not use silence as punishment. Healthy standards are mutual. On the sixth day, reconnect with someone or something that existed before her, a friend, a family member, a goal, a skill, a place you stopped visiting. Your identity must become larger than the relationship you lost. On the seventh day, make one promise you will keep for the next 30 days, a training schedule, a protected work block, a sleep routine, a financial commitment, a social media boundary, then keep it. Confidence is not believing she will contact you. Confidence is knowing you can trust yourself if she does not. That is what happens next when the number stays deleted. You slowly stop waking up expecting a notification. You stop rehearsing the next message. Your phone becomes a tool again instead of an emotional control panel. Your work begins receiving your full attention. Your nights become quieter. Not immediately peaceful, but quieter. The mental arguments become less frequent. The memories still arrive, but they no longer automatically lead to action. You begin seeing the relationship more clearly. You stop asking only, how do I get her back? You begin asking, would getting her back actually create a healthy life? That question changes everything. Do you miss her character? Or do you miss being wanted? Do you want the relationship? Or do you want the rejection reversed? Would you accept her if she returned with the same behavior? Or are you imagining a transformed version of her who has not shown evidence of change? Was the connection mutual? Or were you attached to the potential of what it could become? Sometimes you keep the number because you are not waiting for love, you are waiting for validation. You want the message that says, I made a mistake. You believe those words will repair your confidence, but confidence given by her can be removed by her. Even if she returns, fear will return the next time her energy changes unless you develop stability inside yourself. You need confidence that exists before the message. Confidence built through discipline, purpose, boundaries, accountability, the ability to accept reality without repeatedly begging it to become different. That is, the man deletion should help you recover. Not a colder man, not a man who never trusts again, not a man who treats every woman like she will eventually leave. Do not turn heartbreak into permanent suspicion. Do not punish the next woman with emotional distance because this connection failed. Do not hide your feelings. Do not create tests. Do not pretend not to care. That is not strength. That is pain wearing armor. A mature man can remain open. He shows interest. He communicates. He makes an effort, but he observes whether effort returns. He can be patient without waiting forever, generous without overgiving, emotionally available without becoming emotionally dependent. He can fight for a relationship when both people are fighting for it, and he can delete the number when he realizes he is fighting alone. What if she never contacts you? Then the number still needed to go. She may think about you and remain silent. She may miss you and still move forward. She may care and believe the relationship should remain over. He feelings cannot build a relationship. You need communication, availability, consistency, mutual effort. Do not remain emotionally loyal to what you imagine she secretly feels while ignoring what she openly chooses. That is how months become years. Her silence does not prove you are worthless. It means she is not participating in a relationship with you. That information is painful but usable. You can grieve and continue moving. You can honor the good moments without returning to the unhealthy pattern. You can forgive without restoring access. You can wish her well without waiting. A meaningful past does not guarantee a shared future. Sometimes the relationship becomes a lesson. It shows you where you abandon your routine, where insecurity controlled you, where you tolerated confusion, where you expected someone else to provide the self worth you had stopped creating internally. Use the lesson. Do not build a prison from it, so delete her number, not as a performance, not as revenge, not because an online coach promised that she would sense your absence and come running back. Delete it because your weakest moments should not have instant access to a person your strongest judgment knows you must stop chasing. Delete it because repeated contact has not created clarity. Delete it because rereading the conversation keeps reopening a door that reality has already closed. Delete it because you need enough distance to hear your own life again. Then let what happens next happen. She may notice the silence. She may become curious. She may remember what your presence provided. She may contact you. If she does, listen to the quality of the return. Does she bring clarity, accountability, consistency? Or does she only want reassurance that you remain available? Do not rush. Let her actions answer. She may never contact you, then continue building, because the deepest result is not her name returning to your screen. The deepest result is the day you realize you no longer need it to. You wake up, you work, you train, you laugh again, you make plans that have nothing to do with proving anything to her. You begin trusting yourself. And the number that once felt like your only path back to peace becomes something you no longer need to remember. DM her number, not to make her lose access to you. Do it so pain finally loses immediate access to your decisions. And in the next video, you will learn what it really means when she contacts you after weeks of silence. And the one question that reveals whether she genuinely wants another chance or only wants to know that you are still waiting.